coursing through my veins. But it's time to ride, won't you grab hold my reins?
Hi everyone, and welcome back to Horse Tales. I'm your host, Ashley Feschuk. Today I speak with Jasmine Bastarache, who owns and operates Venture Stables in Freetown, Prince Edward Island. Venture Stables offers riders, both new and old, beginner or novice, the opportunity to broaden their skills, to ride in a safe environment and communicate with other like-minded people. They also offer riders the ability to participate in various clinics and events. So let's saddle up and speak to Jasmine about all Venture Stables has to offer.
Hi, thanks for having me here, Ashley. How are you today?
Oh, it's so nice outside. I'm actually doing the show on my porch, so it's...
I can hear the birds chirping in the background. I love it.
Yeah, it's nature wars right now with spring, and there's a lot of nest protectionism going on.
It's nice to hear everything coming back to summertime.
It is, and I appreciate you letting me come to visit the other day to see the drill team. Do you want to talk to me a little bit about how that got started and what the goals are?
Sure. The drill team was actually an idea by one of the local veterans in the community that used to ride in a drill team and teach in a drill team once he was done service. And one of his daughter rides here too. So the idea was first with him, and over the winter we just kind of took it over, and with hopes that he'll be back this summer once the weather is a bit warmer,
right?
And teach us some more of his skills.
What's his name? Does he come there often? Because I know that there's a few people that come to give clinics.
Well, his name's Mike, and he's pretty. What's the word I'm looking for? He's a private person.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so he's not one of your clinic people that come, because I know that you've hosted a few clinics with various trainers, and there's somebody, I can't remember his name, that goes there quite often.
Before the COVID, we'd usually have clinicians at least once a month, and but due to COVID, things have changed a bit. So
yeah, there's a few really. Sorry, go ahead. No,
we do have a few clinics planned, but that's all if the bridge is going to be open, because a lot of the clinicians are across that come over.
Can you name a couple just off the top of your head? Because I'm drawing a blank at the one that I.
Yeah, no worries. So we've the clinician that you're maybe referring to may have been Alan Taylor. He's come over.
That's the one.
Times,
Thank you.
And yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, generally he'd still be coming over to put on clinics, but things look different now in our world.
They do. Yeah, they do. Yeah. And hopefully that will clear up soon, I hope, because there's a lot of talented people both on the island and just over the bridge, and it's so nice to share that knowledge. And I remember coming to one of the clinics at Venture Stables, and it was such a great way to spend the day. Like, it was just fabulous. I love the setting. The people there are so nice, and I'm really looking forward to spending more time there. So yeah.
And we're looking forward to having you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really fun.
So that's one thing about learning. I feel if you're learning something, the best thing to do with it is to be able to provide it to others. There's no point having knowledge in your suitcase if you're not going to share it.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I started this show, was to, give people a little bit of just a touch of an experience to something that maybe they haven't or they can't go to right now, or that they're interested in learning about. So yeah, we're on the same page, girl.
Perhaps maybe they don't even know about it.
Yeah, exactly. So can you tell me a little bit about Venture Stables? How did it get started?
It's a great question. Venture Stables was actually started by a man named Lawrence Banman, and that was in 1995. And we decided to keep the name Venture Stables in memory of Larry. He was very well known in the horse community, and we thought that we owed it to him to continue on the legacy and just keep making difference in people's lives.
So when you first, so are you from the island originally, or did you and your husband move here from somewhere else?
Yeah, so I am originally from Colbrook, Nova Scotia, and my husband's from Clare. And we relocated here in November 2015, the year of the winter storm.
Yes. What a year for you guys. Whoa.
Yeah. It was quite interesting. So I'm a firm believer that God only gives us what we can handle. So he wanted to be sure that we were in it for the long haul and, provide us with lots of learning opportunities and find out what we're made of. Right.
Yeah. Well, that'll definitely get your feet wet for sure. The storms like that was a wild year. That was the year that I moved here as well. So it was wild. And at that time, my husband was a full-time medic working up west, and I was, I'd say, quite naive coming into this business and thought I needed to fill my barn up with boarders, and that's how this business needed to go. And I've since then redirected. My passion is not taking care of other people's horses, but being able to provide a place where people can come and enjoy the horses. Let's talk a little bit, just because I've had experience with that too. When I first started and I first moved here, I had the same situation. I thought, okay, I'll board. I love horses. I'll just take, horses. In my experience, and I don't know if you can speak to this, it's a lot of work. And boarding. You know what? The horses are easy. Yes, exactly. Right now, I own 29 horses of my own, and it is a lot of work. It's a physical work, but it's not mental work. Right. So, taking care of the horses, that's just part of the passion. Yeah. And that just comes with the territory. But it's the managing people that I found difficult when it came into the boarding aspect. It's just, we won't go too much into that. No, let's not. It's just not my passion. It's not where my passion lies. Yeah. And I'm glad that I had that opportunity to fill my barn and realize that this isn't where my passion is. Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. It's just a natural progression it's a stepping stone into where you want to be. Yeah. And financially as well, if you fill your barn, it just has more of an expense as well too, and feeding all the horses. So you have 29 horses of your own. Okay, so how did you end up with 29 horses of your own? So what I do now is I lease my horses out so people can come and enjoy my horses. And we lease them, and we do equine assisted learning, we do trail rides, we have a variety of programs here. I just find that for some people that aren't sure of the whole care that comes into the horses or the whole commitment that goes into it, that with leasing it's not risky. If you want to come out today, you're going to come out today, and there's no guilty conscience of, you haven't seen your horse, because you know that your horse belongs to someone else and they're being taken care of. So I like to kind of present it as it's a privilege. I agree. And so can you speak to some of the programs that you offer there? You kind of just touched on it for a second there, but let's circle back, and because I know that there's a few different ones, and I'd really like to explore that a bit more. Sure. Well, we do riding lessons for people of all ages. That's pretty self-explanatory. If you're, wanting to learn how to ride, or, wanting to learn more about horses, we teach on the ground and in the saddle. I'm a firm believer that you should learn how the horse communicates before you decide to get on and go for a run around, because horses have so much more to give back to us than just running and being on their back. What I really love doing is the equine assisted learning, is having the horses as a teacher to, sometimes we can talk and try to teach people. Not all people are good listeners and absorb the information that you're providing. With the horses, if they have those moments where they can learn from a horse, it lasts them for a lifetime. For example, just being in the present moment. You could teach about being present, how to be present,
living in the past is having fear, living in the future is having fear. But when you're with the horse, you are present right there, right then. And the horses are great teachers for that lesson in life.
I agree with you. That's really good. That's really smart. And yeah, I believe that a lot of work should happen on the ground before you go any further.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your personal history with horses. How did you discover that horses were a passion?
Yep. So, wow, it's a great question. My great grandmother, Mabel, she.
I love that name. It's so pretty. So she was the horse lover in our family, and I'm a firm believer that it usually is in your blood somewhere. Somebody in your family had the love of horses, and that was passed down to you. So it really started off I just loved horses. I always wanted to be around them, and it's kind of so I'll just say. And how did sorry, no, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to know when you decided that you were getting out of boarding and you wanted to get into teaching, how did that start? How did that change come about? What was necessary for you to take those steps?
For the teaching component was, basically being vulnerable, being okay with being vulnerable, but also putting value on yourself and the teachings that you have received, whether it's the certification programs or if it's the clinics that you've attended, it's the education that you've received, knowing that you've done your work and that you are educated to be able to provide these services to people. And that can make you feel kind of vulnerable, thinking, can I really do this? And I remember the first student that I had, and I'd come in, I'd be so excited. Oh my gosh, I just taught my first lesson. Oh, it was so great, so wonderful. Just having those little aha moments of you've got this. This is where your passion is. And when you're in the middle of it going, this is when it feels real good. Yeah. This is when and it's in those little moments that I try to help people recognize that when you're in it, that's when you're in your flow. When you're feeling good and the energy feel good, that's your passion.
I've seen you teach, and I think that you're very good. You remind me of a teacher that I had that was very crucial to my she was there for me all through my early childhood into my teens, and she was just the perfect balance of let's get it done and just building my confidence. She was just almost like a mother figure in a way. So yeah, I can see that. I can see that you have a gift when I watch you teach. And it's
when you're working with horses, right? You need to know how the right pressure and the right release to find
that's right.
When you're teaching, right? If we don't have that right pressure, then that person doesn't get out of their comfort zone to be able to grow. Yeah. And then you have to have the ability to provide that release and that encouraging instruction to let them know that you've just got out of your comfort zone, but look, you've done it. It's great. You've just had real growth, and making sure that people understand that. One thing I did find along this journey though is that when parents or clients come in and want their children to learn how to ride, I ask questions. Do you want them to learn how to ride? Or are you looking for them to be more responsible? Are you looking for them to have a connection with an animal? Are you looking for them to learn empathy? Because those are very different things when it comes into having a goal for riding or being able to build on some confidence.
I bet when you do that, some people are taken aback because those are questions when most people want to drop their kids off for riding, they're not, they think, okay, they're going to ride for a little bit and I'll pick them up in an hour or whatever. But they don't think that some people might not go there. Yeah. The
parents they know why. I think with a lot of people have heard we do a variety of services here. So they know that when they come for riding lessons, if it's more than just the riding lessons part and they can provide that information for me, then it gives me a better insight of how I need to be coaching this type of individual.
Yeah, that's really smart, and I'm sure they appreciate that. I know I would. Can you share with me maybe one of your success stories that you've had working with horses or with teaching?
Oh, there's so many stories.
I know. It's hard. No, we can come back to that one if you want. Let's actually come back to that one. So your personal mentors, would you say Alan Taylor is one of those people?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from Alan, and
what is it about? Yeah, what is it about Alan? What do you think that you've learned from him? One primary thing that you've kind of learned that's helped you on your way?
When to be big and when to be small. And it doesn't matter if you're a woman or if you're a man, you can still have that presence about yourself. Doesn't matter if you're tall, like it's about what's inside, where your energy is, and bringing that energy up to be able to match that horse if you need to, or bringing it down and knowing when. Rhythm, timing, just being patient. And we had a horse come in here one time, and the horse wouldn't leave the stall, head down, just wouldn't leave the stall. So classic signs that there has been some type of abuse in the horse's life. Right. And just being able to have that door open and have that space for the horse to say, you're welcome to come out, with no threatening, predator body language happening with you. It's just
transformative. Yeah. It's wow, that's a really good lesson.
And that horse in particular is the horse that taught me the most. She was scared, she was wild, she'd run you over, she just was scared of everything. So you had to have your energy very low, and I can be quite a high energy person. So in teaching myself, just slow it down and breathe and keep everything in. And it was a big lesson, and I feel like the horses that are the most challenging are the ones that teach you the most.
They're the ones you remember, I think. What was that horse's name?
What was her name?
It's okay.
There's so many names in my head.
You've got 29, but then I'm sure you've had way more, with the boarding and everything come through. So
a lot. And some horses, come for a short time, and some stay for a long time.
Yeah. What do you feel like your true purpose is, like with the work that you're doing?
Being able to provide a place where people can just feel themselves, just no pressure, just be, just when you drive down the driveway, you feel like you just came home and you just feel safe.
Yeah, I can feel that when I visit. So that's
the horses
really nice.
As the teachers, it's just if you're coming for a retreat, if you're coming for have a meditation session, that was a big learning too for me. We would do meditation, and I tried it with the camp kids one time, and I thought, they're gonna think this is not cool, right? And we did our first meditation session, and since then, every camp, every child is like, can we meditate? And
wow,
it just gives you a
cool
perspective. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's a good skill to learn when you're young. If you can pass that on, it'll help. I believe in meditation, and I think that if you can pass that on at a young age, it's an incredible skill.
I've had children say that they've meditated before, and but once they're with the horse, because we get them to lay on the horse, stand on the horse, whatever they feel comfortable with, then they like it. They feel that connection with the horse. The horse is still, the horse is calm. You're breathing with your horse, and it's quite amazing to be a part of that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Now, when I visited, we talked a bit earlier about the drill team, and what are some of their goals, and where do you see them going in the next few years?
I'd love to be able to, once life gets back to normal and our horse shows are back open again, is be able to take the girls and have them open up at a horse show. Yeah. Perform a little drill and the song of choice, and be able to put on a little show and show off the hard work that they've done.
Yeah, and the music is such a cool factor that you have. Do the girls like it when you put the music on?
They seem to always want Dancing Queen. They like that.
I was going to ask you if it's the same song or if you change it up, because there was a bit of Cyndi Lauper in there too. And,
I know, right? No, they seem to like the Dancing Queen.
And they really know their stuff. They seem keen to learn, so that's great. What a good set of young ladies you have there. They're just really nice, and they're very sweet.
Winter, there they are. This winter was the first time that we did our leasing of our horses. And what I found was that the people that would lease, and if you see them now in their lessons, and if you had seen them before with just their 1 hour lesson a week, they have improved so much.
Right.
Because I think the ability to ride and make mistakes without having your coach there, it's just being able to let me try this or try that and see if this works, right?
Yeah.
And gives them the ability to have more practice and more time to. How do you sit a trot? How do you post? And
yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit about. Do you have any unusual habits that you do on a daily basis? Like some people have some kind of rituals that they kind of live by day to day. Do you have anything like that?
Well,
meditation.
I don't know if I would use the word unusual. I'm sure there's other people that do this too, but I like to burn sage and just be conscientious of my own self and how I'm feeling that day and how I'm going to present myself to the world.
Yeah, I don't think that's unusual. We burn sage.
There's things that. And that's the thing about life, is that you never know what somebody's going through. And what I find interesting is that I could be going through something, whether it's my children or just, things, my grandfather is ill and I'm not able to be there with him. Mm-hmm. It's that you need to snap your fingers, walk out the door, and just put on your smiling face and go through the day. Mm-hmm. And that is sometimes not as easy as it sounds, but it just is what it is.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear about your grandfather. A lot of people feel so isolated right now, not being able to get to loved ones, and I feel that my grandmother, it is tough. It'll be nice when we can hopefully be reunited sometime soon. I can't imagine what that will be like. The joy. And I think horses, I don't know what your thoughts are, but do you think horses have helped us for some people during this time?
Absolutely. We've had more clients reach out than before COVID just to be with the horses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's something very grounding. Like you said, you're in the moment. You're not in the past or in the future. You're just right there, and I think that's really helpful for people right now. If
people, let's say you're doing an hour group therapy session with us.
Yeah.
In that hour, you are not thinking of what you're struggling and going through. Mm-hmm. It's you're thinking of you're being, you're doing, you're engaged. So I've had a lot of people say, the traditional talk therapy, you bounce stuff off four walls and you leave and you're still thinking about the things that you've discussed, what's affecting you and, the struggles that you're going through. And it stays with you. Mm-hmm. What we've been getting back for feedback with the horses is that you're here with the horses, you're engaging, you're learning, you're smiling, you're trying something new, you're feeling a new connection. Mm-hmm. And when you drive away, that feeling is lasting hours with you. So I'm a firm believer that, a lot of us already know what we're struggling with or, what type of situation that we've dealt with in the past, whether it's trauma or, family related issues. It's that, how do we move forward? Mm-hmm. We don't need to keep going back about, well, this happened or that happened. It's how do we move forward? How do we progress forward? How do we reach a goal? How do we wake up? Some people struggle just getting out of bed.
Yeah.
So it's just teaching people baby steps and and going out and trying something different. You never know. Like, what do you have to lose? You might love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you might make connections with people that you normally might not have met, or, there's a lot of different types of people that come to the barn, and it can be really healthy to make friends that way and just spend time. Yeah. If people want to connect with you, Jasmine, and maybe look into some of the programs that you offer, where would they go to do that? Where's the best place to get in touch?
The best place to get in touch with us is right on our website, just venturestables.com, and there's a contact us form. Fill that out, and one of us will get back to you. That's the best way.
I really appreciate your time, and I would love to chat with you again sometime. And I hope that the girls get their opportunity to do, present at a horse show, or it may be Old Home Week when that gets when that starts up again. And I'd love to follow them on their journey, so I can see us talking again in the near future.
Awesome. Well, anytime you want to come out, you're more than welcome.
I definitely will be coming by. I've got to see the pigs, and Gloria.
We put them outside yesterday.
Oh, I saw the video. They are adorable.
I should have did a live video while we were taking Gloria, who must weigh between 8 and 1,000 pounds, out.
Oh, she is interesting. She's such a beauty. I'm sorry, Gloria is all that. Like, she's just
gigantic.
I
think she's the biggest pig on Prince Edward Island.
I would say that. And I love her little friend, Brown, who is actually a white chicken.
I know, right?
They are best friends, and it's so cute. And she looked so happy yesterday to be outside in the mud and the dirt and just having a great time. You really take care of the animals there, so that's really nice to see.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I had bread and pig food enticing her to come into her outside area. But she was getting tired of that, so I had to resort down to the Lucky Charms, and that's how we got her in.
Oh, really? She likes Lucky Charms? That's so cute. Yeah. I'll post pictures of her, because she just has the brightest smile I've ever seen.
She does. She's cool.
Yeah, she's really cool. Like, a lot of the animals there are used to being around people, and they just seem really happy. So
that's like if you come over to the farm and they're like, oh, look at all the barn cats. And barn cats tend to be a little bit sketchy.
Not yours.
They love people. So.
Yes, they do. While I was actually doing some filming, I had a barn cat almost right up on my neck, and she was just having a great time. And the little one that came to welcome me, I can't remember her name.
Probably Claire.
Yeah, I think it was Claire. Yeah. What a great name for a cat. And she was she's like the ambassador. She's just, hello, how are you?
She's very chatty.
She is. And I look forward to following those animals on their journey. So thank you very much again for your time, and have a great day. Yeah.
I'll just leave this. We'll leave our interview with one of my favorite quotes, which is change your thoughts and change your world.
Yeah.
That's simple. Our thoughts are what create our reality. And if we don't have positive thoughts, then it doesn't give us the positive life.
I love that, and I love what you're doing. So keep up the good work, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, enjoy this day. It's sunny and
I'm going to go riding.
It's great.
I know, I'm going to go riding. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, take care.
Okay. All right, thanks,
Jasmine.
Have a good day.
Okay, you too.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for listening to the show. I'm your host, Ashley Feschuk. Music is by Dave Woodside. If you'd like more of the show, please visit Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your media on the go. Thanks again, and until next time, happy trail riding.